is gonna be a little bit late, like more like 6:30, so I'll have Debbie go first, if you would.
Should we start?
What
Yep.
is it, 6 o'clock?
Yep. Yep.
I don't have a watch and that clock says 5 o'clock.
Well, he says,
We've come to talk to you about the budget for the library again. And one of the things that we did
Thank you.
is that we set up the budgets that we have for 2019, 2020, and 2021. One of the things that we found is that you can look down through the numbers in terms of what we have there. The totals are on the back side of it.
oh yeah.
We're asking for more money. We're just can't seem to, more programs are actually going back into the library now that we're getting, hopefully, rid of COVID. The summer program is going again this summer.
So you can't, are you doing camp, is that on?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Oh, nice.
Yep, and the LEAP
Nice.
program is going on too. So both of those are going on, and they usually have programs that they actually put on for that too. But one of the things you can look down through and see in terms of what we received for money, everything should be listed so that you can see what it is. One of the things, I mean, everything has gone up. And I know at 2019, the total was 81,000. Last year it was 57. And now we've only got 70,000 that we're working with for this year. We don't think it's enough to actually go through another year.
What's the current impact of the pandemic?
Actually, the library didn't get done beneath that, but a lot of the programs and stuff, they did a lot of takeout, so people would call in and they would exchange, put stuff out onto the porch and stuff like that. So the numbers have been, of course, down
Okay.
drastically for this year.
The number of visits
Yes.
have been down,
Yes.
okay.
But the library did function as well as it could while it was closed.
And it's still closed today, isn't it? Is it not?
No, it's open.
Fully open,
Yes, 6 people, they only allow 6 people in there at a time.
okay. Well, what is the direct request for today?
We'd like at least $10,000 more if it's possible. One of the things I know 19 was a very strenuous year in terms of the money that you allocated and stuff, and we understood that, but we, at the time, told us it was only going to be 1 year, but again, they're paying utilities now, which is wonderful, because, you used to pay us, then we pay it back anyway, so they're doing that anyway, so that's still part of something that we're receiving. But the $10,000 extra that they would like is to be able to do the programs and stuff to keep those going.
Now, there's a lot of grants coming down the pike. Are you applying for any of those? I mean, there's a lot of money.
We have applied for PPP, it's a loan
Yeah.
that we have, as long
Right.
as it's used, but right now it's just a loan, so we do have that coming in too.
But it's not necessary to repay that, is that correct?
The money coming down, I'll talk about it later, but we had a conference with Bernie Sanders the other day, Kylie and I, and there's an overall amount of money coming to the towns.
Yes.
We just don't know how much. We
Right,
don't know if
yes.
it's 10% of our budget or 50%. I'd rather
Right.
say
But
probably 10.
What I'm saying is though, that PPE loans they're forgivable.
Right.
They're not,
They are forgivable as long as it's used and stuff like
And
that.
you've applied or you're applying for
We're
that?
applying for it, yes.
Yeah.
my thing is, when I look at this listing, I see your payroll expense is higher than 2019, and it's certainly higher than 2020, but I understand that because you were basically closed up. But we've already gone 4 months into 2021, and I'm surprised that number would be going up over 2019 when we haven't been open for the first quarter.
Do you want to address that, Kathleen?
Okay, so payroll expenses are, one is that it was low in 2020 because there was no summer camp, and the person that usually works the summer camp did not. Okay, so that's 6 weeks, 5 days a week, it's quite a bit, okay? That explains that. The other is that I worked the budget so that I would give raises to my staff because they are making $12.60 an hour, not myself. And I also included someone to clean the library because right now staff is cleaning the library. You know, no one's really doing, is coming in outside to clean. So that includes that as well.
Did they
And
res-
it's a
I'm
raise
sorry.
of,
Go ahead.
not that, really that much more money. It's like $400.
What is $400?
The payroll expenses,
Between 2019 and
2020,
2021.
and a budget for 2020, and the actual for 2019.
Do you have any first quarter results? Other than, I'd like to see what we are year to date as opposed to the budget.
You would like to see the first quarter of 2021, an activity statement?
That's
I
not
don't-
what this is, on this side?
I
No,
don't-
that's the budget number.
It's the budget numbers we've set up.
Yeah,
It's what we have right now.
well, it's a budget, the budget for 2021 is assuming the town, this budget is assuming the town gives us $60,000.
Right.
I
need $10,000.
I can get a statement, in fact, I just had a statement of activity for the first quarter at the library today. But and I can get that for you if you want.
Well, I just think that the library is a tremendous asset to this community. And however, I'm concerned about the fact that the town is now carrying additional expenses for the library concerning utilities and things like that. And so that would all be factored. I have no idea. I mean, that's $3,700 in 2019 that you won't be carrying this year, which would increase the amount of your appropriation theoretically by almost $4,000. And with the library being semi-closed during the first quarter, you know, curbside service, I would wonder about what the first quarter results were and where we would go for the rest of
Are
2021.
you talking about 2021?
Yeah, the first quarter.
Yeah, the
we
first
were
quarter there.
open- We were open by appointment, and we also did curbside.
Right.
So we
And-
did both. Okay.
But the town is also eating $4,000 in utilities that you guys never paid before.
Well, yes, but generally what happens is they give us the money, we just pay them back, so we just switched it around in terms of how
We
we
just
paid out.
paid utilities out of the money they gave us.
Do you know
But
how that
then we
works?
took, no, I understand, we took
Okay.
on 5,000 in utilities.
Right.
Yeah, it was 5. And
Yep, in the budget.
that would be 5,000 that you don't have to pay out.
Right.
So, in my opinion, you know,
Out of the
my,
60 that we gave you in 2019, in which, or whatever you haven't,
The
you've done
appro-
this in different terms, because you
Right.
put 60 down and it should be 50.
Right.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
so,
confusing.
so we provided 50,000 as an appropriation,
Plus-
plus 5,000.
Yeah.
So,
I think it was 45.
45.
It was 45. It was
Okay.
50 total.
Was
all
it?
right.
I thought we
I
went
mean-
back later and gave you 5 more.
I would be,
You were gonna give us
I don't know.
40, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 45.
I thought we did, but I don't have the paperwork, so I don't know. Do you
I would,
remember?
I would be interested in seeing the first quarter results. And then I would think that perhaps 5,000 would be appropriate
Well,
as opposed to 10,000.
We need to
But I have to
discuss that.
see those, I have to see those first quarter
we
results,
aren't
so.
making any promises, though.
No, that's right, that's correct.
Well, either way, the budget's already been set. Something's gonna have to run in a deficit if we pull, where are we gonna pull the $5,000 or $10,000
Well,
from?
you've got money
Something's
coming,
gonna,
yeah, but you've got money coming, federal money coming into the town, too, it's gonna be.
Well,
Well, we don't know
If we do,
how much
yeah.
or
I've
And
seen
you-
how fast the federal government works. It could be 3 years from now. I'm still dealing with FEMA on the Halloween storm.
And that was in 2019?
Yeah.
If we are getting money,
Well,
well,
we
that's one
don't-
thing, but if we're not,
we don't have
the
it.
budget's been set, something's gonna have to show a deficit if we start pulling money from something to put it somewhere else, if we don't have money coming in.
Right.
I mean, I think everybody's getting money. It's a percentage of your town budget, but we don't know what that percentage is.
Right.
You know, I'm sure if we got a whole bunch of money, we'd be happy to give everybody a little bit.
Yeah, we would share.
We could share.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would
but
share.
there
I
was-
would be willing to share.
Have you heard any, there was no indication of the percentage of the budget. He just talked about,
Which I understand completely,
right,
yeah.
it could be 10%, it could be 50%. I mean, that'd be great, but I doubt it.
Oh, wow, would be.
Well, yeah, we'll give you some money then. But we also have, you know, we also need some big things in town that
Right.
it's but we're not saying no, we're not saying yes, we're just
Okay.
trying to gather information.
But you would like the first quarterly report?
Yes, please.
That'd be great.
So you
That-
want the financial report, sir?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
perfect. That would really help me assess where we're at right now.
Okay.
And I know it's, times are tough for everybody, and we'd love it to start raining dollars here, but
We're hoping that they do.
But if you know, if this money, all this money is coming down, I would think I know that Bernie Sanders, there's some money, they want kids to have some recreation and learning programs in this money because of the lack of school that they've been through. So I would think that the library would be able to get a grant easily. The last time we got a round of grants, it was very easy to apply because they want you to have the money.
Well, what grant was that, Lisa?
Well, if I don't know if they're calling it COVID or what do they call that, incentive? There's some big money coming.
Okay.
So I'd hate to, just me, I'd hate to jump on this now and then maybe in 2 weeks we might be able to, no, let's get more. They claim there's money coming. And it's-
Right, I know, I wrote
You
that.
know, you've heard it.
Oh, yeah, we have.
We just don't know how much,
and also the potential for your
but you could get it.
PPE grants,
I'm sorry.
right?
excuse me.
You have your PPE grants or
Yes.
PPP grants or
Yes, which is, yes,
whatever initials are assigned to it,
Right.
and that could help you significantly as well.
right. But then we've got next year coming too, so.
Right.
Well, that's why
Well-
we could grab it this year.
Oh, well, yeah,
Save it.
we will. We
Well, and
definitely
we also have some economic development people working for us that would, if you had a problem with writing the grant, that would certainly
Okay, so I
help.
should get in touch with them too, right?
Levi and
They may have
Sharon.
some ideas.
Yeah, okay, I'll get in touch with them.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, it's good to come here, but if they might be able to find, and you probably know about all the library grants anyway. But this would be under the incentive, I'm saying the wrong word, not incentive, but it seems like that's part of their deal is kids getting some education. And they're gonna do it at camp, you know, there's,
Yeah, and she's got programs that she's developing too, that she's gonna have through the library too. Which was the one we talked about today, Dr. K?
Oh, Mr. K, that's through the river grant.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's,
Mr.
yeah,
K.
another grant that we've done.
yeah, I see that. What's a courier grant? Is that for delivering books? Courier?
That is exactly what the career grant.
I know what courier means. I do.
That's what it is.
So you're, not to say yes or no, but you're good for another month or so. Right? I mean.
Oh, yes, yes.
I mean, we don't have any issues with accreditation, right? Everything is, are we in good shape in terms of keeping the library accredited based on their current book
Yep.
listing and programs listing and everything else?
Yeah.
So if you could delay it a month or so
Yeah.
to do a little bit of
Well, they've
investigation,
got a
that would be great.
budget. They've got,
Yeah,
Yep,
we do.
no, I understand.
yeah.
So do you want us to come back to the meeting, can we talk or not, or?
Let's, we'll talk about it a little later, but
Yeah.
let's also give it see if we can get more of a handle on these grants coming down.
Okay, all
But
right,
I would also talk to Levi.
Okay, I will.
She's looking for grants for all kinds of stuff.
okay,
And it might not come under a library, you know what I mean? It could come under recreation, it could, you can be creative with some of the stuff.
Right, yeah, because they've got the program this summer that they have the kids,
Well,
so
yeah.
that'll be a lot too.
Did you, did you ever do, this is just an off-the-cuff question, because I've been thinking about doing some things. Did you ever, you know the woods behind the camp?
Yes.
Did you guys ever do something we talked about earlier? A trail through there? I mean, it belongs to town, so we'd have to do a trail. But we had talked about having, stop and having reading, like
Story walks.
story walks.
I have applied for the Rise Vermont grant this year. I was awarded money for story walks, so they will be going up. for
Where
the
were you
summer.
gonna do it?
We were gonna try and do it along there's a trail that they take the kids on.
Up in the woods?
Yeah, and so we were
But you
gonna-
know we own those woods, so any kind of alteration, we need to approve.
You need to
Okay,
know, I
yeah.
know that, yeah, I was gonna,
We even thought of a horse trail, I mean, dog walking, whatever.
yeah, right.
Too
right.
early to.
And we put them, we have permission to put them over at the elementary school.
Yeah.
So this whole year, well, till it snowed. We put them up and we're about to put
Right,
another one
so
up
you've
this
started
week.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things you could do on a trail like that educationally that.
And they're just metal stakes
Yep.
with a core board on it and the book.
So you could
Yeah.
have resting spots, you know, and we could talk.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Okay, is that it for you? Any more questions for them? Nope. All right. Thanks for
you.
coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, yeah.
The second.
And we are fans of the library, by the way.
Yes, I can walk, yes. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be here. Thank you very much.
Okay, I inadvertently did not warn the April 6th meeting. I warned 2 meetings prior to that. I sent you all a note that said to keep April 6th at 4 o'clock open. Totally forgot to warn it, okay? So we met in executive session the whole time. And as soon as I found out that I hadn't sent it, or hadn't posted it, I had made it, but I hadn't sent it, I immediately got on our website and apologized and told people, I was sorry, it was inadvertent, and this is what we talked about, or this is what we decided. We can do this. Now that I've apologized again, Publix, that's part of the process, and I turned myself into the Secretary of State, and that's what they told me what to do. We can null and void that meeting, and it was all executive session anyway. There were 2, I think I put them in your packet, there were 2 things decided. One was that we would provide a key to an ambulance office at the town hall for personnel process paperwork. And we would, where's the other one? Pay overtime rates for ambulance personnel when appropriate and necessary. Now, we can void that whole meeting, and then we can go back, and if we want to approve those 2 things or deny them, we can. What would you like to do?
Well, if it wasn't appropriately warned, I would move that we invalidate that meeting,
Okay?
and then we move forward on the determination from that executive session.
Okay?
I second that.
And you second that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, well, I'll wait till you write that down.
No
And
problem. I would also make a motion that, which was the only motion to come out of that executive session, that we provide overtime wages when, however I worded it here, when appropriate and necessary.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me do some discussion on that. As soon as that meeting ended, within an hour, the lawyers got back to us and said we're not required to pay overtime from the way our structure is. Am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
We are, the only place where that would fall into that I see is if we had someone that was staying at the building for
Right.
more than 40 hours, we would have to start paying overtime.
Exactly.
And I think that falls in when appropriate, we would pay overtime.
Okay, well, we can keep that wording then if you want.
Yep.
So.
Did we have a second?
Yes.
Sherry seconded that.
Okay.
So it's going to read what? Pay overtime rates for ambulance personnel when appropriate and necessary. We don't
Yeah,
need to
whatever
go
it
into
says
hours,
here.
We just need to
Yeah.
do appropriate and necessary.
Yep.
And to explain to everybody, the reason we don't is because they don't stay there.
Right, they get to be home.
Yeah, and
We're not
so that refers just to that. I won't even talk about the rest because that's the only thing we voted on.
Right.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? What about the key? Was that a,
Yep, that was
Wasn't a
done.
motion.
wasn't a
It was
motion, we just
consensus
decided?
decision,
Okay,
yeah,
so
we
we don't have
just
to vote
decided
on
to do
that. He already can get a key, right?
And I assume we started to run those advertisements for the,
Not yet, I was waiting till this meeting.
Okay.
I wanted to wait and see if we were gonna do it, but that's just an agreement too.
yep,
So I will start that. I asked her to send me a sample because we've done it before. So send that for next week and we'll put it on anywhere we can put it, the front porch forum, all the places that we can. Send ad this week. Okay, so now we can approve or disapprove of these minutes.
I'll make motion
for
to
that-
approve.
This is April 6th.
we don't need to act on them because it's an invalid.
You're
deed.
right, we don't. We just acted on them. There you go.
It'll be approved next time, right?
No, there won't be
it's
meetings
gone.
from,
No,
that meeting doesn't
That meeting
exist.
never happened.
It's in hyperspace
Yeah,
somewhere.
however, this next one did, okay? So I need a motion to approve the April 5th, which was, and this is the other thing, in these minutes of April 5th, it says we're gonna have a meeting on April 6th. So
I know.
It's not, it wasn't done purposely because it was.
I know, but it's just
Oh, I know, we have to do it that way, that's
the
fine.
right thing to do.
People make mistakes and certainly.
Absolutely.
All right, so April 5th. Anybody wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody said aye?
One point of discussion in the minutes that you have,
Yep.
it may indicate that the truck that's being replaced was the 2014. It's actually the 2002,
Right.
which
Okay, well,
Mr. Coons pointed out to me, and I made that
You would know.
adjustment.
2002,
Right.
Okay, so
I made
you will
that
change
adjustment
that.
in my copy,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So it'll be set to go.
is that right? Yeah, okay, we have to talk about the payment on that truck tonight too. Okay, so those are done, and Mr. Smith is not here yet, so I'll go to the audience. You were here first. John?
Oh, I don't have anything official on it, and I think maybe Robert McAllister, because I see it in the minutes. Would you object if Fred's puts up a sign along the cemetery right away? They haven't decided on anything yet, far as I know, but I told them if they wanted it in the town property, they'd have to get permission from you people first before I could give them a permit.
Okay, and I went down with him. You know that strip along the cemetery? We don't mow it, but I guess it's ours. The one right next to the driveway. You know, there's the fence for the cemetery and then Robert's.
Right.
And we couldn't tell, they gave us the map, but couldn't tell whether it was part of, do you know?
No, that lot was surveyed, I think, at one time. so
Well, there's a
probably-
stake there that looks like we own that little tiny strip along the side of the fence, but Robert mows it, okay?
Well, there's property pins just, if
Yeah,
you're looking at that lot, there's property pins just to the right of our fence in the cemetery.
right,
Which I would think would be our property line there. So I would say the lawn must go with the.
with the cemetery,
No, I
No,
would say
with
with
Robert.
Robert's lot or with Fred's lot.
okay?
Well-
He
Well,
wouldn't.
actually, Dave McAllister owns all the frontage.
All right.
Oh, he
The
does,
frontage all belongs to him.
okay,
I was gonna say, there was, I think when Joe Pollander sold the property.
Yeah, I think
it
it
was
was surveyed.
divided into 3 properties.
Yep.
And you must have that on record in terms of what the 3 properties are,
Yeah, it must be somewhere.
so.
so how are we gonna decide this? I mean, they wanna put it on that strip, right? You know where they wanna put it.
Along the cemetery there somewhere.
Along the
I
strip,
believe.
because, and they want it both sides, so you can see it coming or going.
So
Yep.
perpendicular
What-
with
Yeah,
the road
it's
right there.
perpendicular.
I would think they would want it over on Dave's frontage where you could see
Right.
it better.
That's what I would
Would be my
thought too.
thought.
Why don't you?
Over in
There
kind of
was
the
a-
gravel or where the power pole is there, along
Yeah,
that side.
absolutely.
But there was a reason he didn't, and I don't remember what it was. Do you?
I don't know, because
Can he
he
get,
hasn't really submitted anything
Right,
definite on,
so should we wait till he submits before we say whether he can or not?
yeah, if you want to do that.
can you
Well-
recommend that he talk to the other landowners
Yeah,
about getting a waiver to put it like on Dave's property if it runs the full length of the front? then it'd be able to
There seemed like
plant
there was
it
a
anywhere you
reason,
want.
there was a reason, and I can't remember what it was, but there was, because that's where they decided after. But the thing is, we probably need to approve that he could put it there first, right? Because then he'd make the zoning.
Well, if you're gonna allow, if they want it on your property,
If they do.
If
It
they
sounds
do.
like they do. I don't know, it sounds like they do.
What are the setbacks on a sign? What,
well,
does
it
the zoning have?
has to be, I think, in that street, 50 feet from the center of the road. So it has to set back quite a ways.
That's gonna put it back.
That wouldn't
It's
show
gonna be
from the
the
road.
trees.
And it has to be a certain distance from the business as
Better
well.
located
On the other side.
David's, I would think.
Well, we can talk to Robert and
Can you talk to Robert and see if you can talk to Dave and Dave wants to put it out
well,
in
we
front
shouldn't
there?
talk to Dave. We let Robert do his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right,
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
hasn't even filed an
No,
application
no,
yet.
we don't do that. They can come to us.
That's what I'm recommending to John.
Yeah, I'll track
You'll
down.
talk to him,
See
okay.
what they really want to do.
Okay,
Perfect.
yep.
Thank you, Mr.
Anything
Libby.
else?
No.
Well, you
except-
don't sound like there's nothing else.
Well, as usual, you know, there's millions of
I
violations.
know, I know.
And I have sent formal violations to, recently to 126 Center Street.
Well,
And,
that's not what we own, right?
no,
126 Center?
and the owner has appealed my violation.
To
And
who?
we'll be
Who's the
having a
owner?
hearing on it on May 11th.
You got a hearing on May 11th?
Yes.
Who's the owner?
Homer Durkee,
Okay, it's on the corner.
on the corner house there,
Yeah.
Oh, the old brown house?
yes. Because it has missing windows and has no siding. It's been like that for several years now.
I see he's putting windows in it and putting siding on it now.
Well, he's
Within the
supposed to
last
be working on it.
This week? They do it
Well,
this
within
week?
the last week. or
Well, if he does, then we don't.
That's what a
even-
court date does for you.
Convenient.
He waits till the last minute.
And I also sent 92 Thomas Street, which used to be the Robarge
Yep.
property.
Yep,
Yeah.
And the owner called me, he said, can I have a little more time?
how much?
I said, how much? He said, well, 60 days and we're gonna have it tore down. We wanna build a new house there.
Really?
It'd be nice.
Yeah?
Would be.
So what did you say, yes?
And I said yes to it, I said.
Okay, that sounds good.
And this was just an email from people that have bought 410 Golf Course Road, and they're 7.7 miles beyond the blacktop,
Yeah,
and they're getting ready to start construction. They're
Yeah.
gonna build a big house, I guess.
they're
and a
from
garage.
Texas, right? They're from Texas, John?
Yeah.
And they wanna know if there's any limits on construction equipment going on the dirt roads now.
It'll be up to you.
Well, technically there is till May 15th.
Well, they haven't got permits yet, so probably time.
That's
they
up to the
get stuff-
contractor to decide whether he wants to ask permission to get his equipment on there.
Right.
Technically, yes, the road's posted till May
May
15th.
15th.
May 15th.
Okay, I'll email her back and say that till May 15th, but they haven't applied for any permits yet, so anyway, so.
So that's gonna take
It'll
a
be
couple of
time
weeks.
they get all that through, it'll probably be here
Right, yeah.
May
Yep.
15th.
They were just up here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Enjoying the fire department, which is great. We think, right?
Almost 100% sure.
100%, that's his guess.
Almost all.
Almost.
Almost.
You never put everything out of
I know, never say out for sure, for sure. Anything else?
Oh, I also want to thank the crew for cleaning up the streets, but, there's so much more that could be done. In front of those blocks over there, this
Block.
pile of dirt, I bet it's a foot high.
Well, they were cleaning up the dirt today.
If you could get the people to move their cars and not
Well,
park
yeah.
on top of the pile,
Yeah.
maybe we could pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
They were across from my house today,
Crazy.
someone was sweeping and they were picking up the piles. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of cars on the street.
Oh, I know it's awful over there.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's just as many cars down back.
why not? Well, is
It's a
there
mess
anything we
over
can
there.
do? Are they registered?
No, a lot of them aren't.
You said there's a lot of mattresses back there too. I say it's time to send some.
Oh, I am, yeah.
You are?
I took pictures the other day.
We had talked with John earlier in the week and asked if, if we had the money, if he could use a little extra, like an assistant for a while, just to do the, paperwork, running, looking at places. You said you wouldn't mind, right?
Well, at times, yes, it would help, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a part-time at some point. Well, keep on it, let us know, and we'll, see what we can do. We really need to clean up some stuff.
Is anything in the works on property on Hardwood Hill? You had any more complaints on it, or?
What
On the
property?
On Gilmat Road?
Not Hardwood, oh.
Oh, Gilmet Road, I was up there yesterday.
The one with the chickens?
Well, everything.
Everything
yeah,
and pigs and
The
yeah.
zoo.
the zoo, yeah.
I'm gonna send her a formal violation.
I complained about it today.
Because I sent her a letter last summer and she never responded at all. So I'll send her a formal violation.
Well, we had also a complaint from the guy next door, right,
Yeah.
about stuff, so
Yes,
we have to do something. The chickens chased me right down the road the other day, there's so many of them. So you've got that under control? or-
Well, it's not under control.
No, but you've got it
I
on
know
your
of it.
list, okay. Okay, so you're good? Curtis?
I'm just here to watch.
Okay.
I don't have anything specific.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll start, and then I can stop if Tim gets here. Fireworks. The Lions Club would like to have the fireworks on July 2nd at the water and sewer plant. Rain date July 11th, but we will need a motion, yes or no, on that.
I'm sorry,
I'll
what was
make
the
a
original
motion.
date?
July 2nd,
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
to have the fireworks at the water and sewer plant.
Yes,
It-
on
it
July
wouldn't
2nd,
be-
and backup rain day is
It would be water
11th.
plant, not water and.
Water, yeah, you're right, water
Seven.
plant, water,
And it's 7/9, the backup date?
11.
No.
11,
7/11, sorry.
yeah. Did you second that?
Yes, I
Any
made the
discussion?
motion for that, yep.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Yes, on the fireworks.
As long as they pick up their mass.
They usually do.
Yeah, they do, they're good at it.
They do. Okay, all right. The four-wheeler club has asked, and I don't know how to phrase this. I'll use a name. Gilbert Desatel lives, you know where he lives.
Yeah.
He's got a four-wheeler. His street is not one that four-wheelers can go on, but it's only one house down to the street where they can go on.
I thought we had made a motion that if they lived on the street that couldn't have four-wheelers on, it, they could still drive for them
I couldn't
from their
find it.
home
I couldn't find it. When did we
to
do
that street, but they couldn't ride up and down the street.
Right, when did we do that, though? I couldn't find it in the minutes.
I think it was like the second time they came to meet with us. I can't remember how long ago that was, but
Okay.
Would we actually have to make up some sort of permit to give to him to prove?
Well,
If he
he's-
was to get stopped from an officer or something, doesn't he
He said,
need some
Scott,
sort of proof?
right, Scott said their four-wheeler registrations have where they live on it. And they could just show that.
yep.
And if they were on the street where they live, they could just, the cops would know. And if they don't have a registration, they're in violation anyway, so they shouldn't be,
We just have to
Right.
put an amendment onto the ordinance saying that
well, I can
something
look.
on that
I could have
effect.
swore we already had that on there.
I can look, and we can save it for next time. I couldn't find it, maybe I didn't go back far enough, because that ordinance said, the ordinance says we can change it at any time without warning it. So if you want to hold it off till next meeting, we can do that. And I can look and see, and if not, we can decide. It makes sense.
Well, I think
Yeah.
it's fair for a legally registered guy that belongs to the club, but there's some that are gonna play that card that,
They're playing it already.
yeah.
Yeah.
One other thing concerning the ATV clubs. They have the trailhead sign at Davis Park. I don't know if they put one out by the town garage too.
No,
No, they had
Okay.
one, they took that from Roberts. The trailhead sign, they took it from Robert, from Hollister's, that's where it was.
Okay,
And they
well-
put it, I told them they could put it there.
that's fine. I think we should have our ordinance posted on that same sign,
Yep,
and
yep,
it's not now, so.
okay. The other thing is that the sheriffs, when they stop somebody, they have the ordinances in their cars and they're handing them to people because they're telling them, here's one, if we stop you again, there's no question you're gonna get a ticket. So they're handing them the streets. Because it is confusing. If you look at it, the streets are sporadic. Sometimes it goes through a neighborhood, like I think it can go up Noyes Street, but it can't go up Elm Street, so it should be posted, you're right. So we'll put that, had a request to put, and they've got quite a horse trail group, I don't know what they call themselves. And they would like a hitching post at Davis Park. Davis Park is getting kind of crowded. But I said, why there? And they said, well, they like to ride down, be able to hitch their horses and have a picnic. And I said, I've had enough problems with dog stuff. I don't want horse stuff. But
It's there anyway.
the dogs are.
No, horses have been.
Oh, geez, okay. That's against their, and well, they're supposed to have some kind of a bucket with a shovel with it and everything. I'm not
understand.
sure how big it is, so I'm not gonna bring it up tonight. I'm just having you think about it, because it looked to me like it might be big. It's not just a ring in the post, you know. So that's something to think about. I put the ad in for the town worker. The police report, I think I gave you one. Look through your packet. It looked like this. And it tells you the March.
packet?
Yeah, oh yeah, here it is. That's the packet. It gives you the numbers for March, everybody they stopped in March. You get a monthly report, and it's simple to get. Go right online and under Richford, you have to have a password. I can print it out every month. So, and they've been very good about giving us who's on duty when. And they came up, I said something to Roger that I had heard there was a lot of spinning of tires and stuff around 4 o'clock, and I said, could you do some kind of well, the next day, I guess 3 of them came up, and they put cars on flatbeds, and they were really making an impression around town, because I heard it from a lot of people.
Yep.
And so that was good, and then the regular cops stayed for the rest of the night. This has got 39 investigations or whatever for March.
What's a DLS? I'm sorry.
Driving while license suspended.
Yeah, the license suspended.
Oh, okay.
An illegal burn, that's actually burning something, okay. I was thinking of spinning your tire. So this is kind of what's been going on for the month of March anyway. And part of that month it was cold, so things are hopping up here in the warm weather.
Yeah.
Somebody knocked the toilet over at Davis Park. I don't suppose you saw who did that.
Yeah, I
Oh.
sent you an email on it.
Oh,
It
you
was,
did?
well, maybe it didn't go through. I got a couple of error messages.
Well, you don't say the name.
I know, Wendy Gesser reported it.
Okay, I wish.
I know who it is. I can tell you after this meeting.
Okay, but do the cops know?
Yes,
Oh.
I told Deputy Sad, I
Yeah,
saw him
yeah,
on
He's good,
Thursday because we had a number of incidents taking place in Davis Park again,
yep.
including
Leave the
cars,
lights on.
cars parked behind the playground equipment.
Yeah.
They were starting little fires along the riverside.
This is Thursday, we didn't have anybody on Thursday night, did we?
Yes, this Thursday we did.
Oh, we did.
It was him, yeah.
Good,
And he came over to the house afterwards,
Good.
because I had called it in
Yeah.
and we talked about it.
he took care of it then, you're telling me?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we talked about the tipped over
Yep.
toilet and all the other things, they were on the roof of the,
Gazebo.
the kayak shack.
Oh, nice, yeah,
You know, so, but he has some names,
good.
and I imagine he'll pass them along to
And-
Andre more than anything
Yeah,
else.
well, he knows everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody though, put the porta potty back up today.
Yeah,
A lot of
actually it was
times-
yesterday.
A lot of times people will drive by and if they can do it with their truck or something, they do.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna ask them to do it, but it was.
Yeah, it's not very heavy,
Well,
but
it depends, John.
I'm just concerned about the contents.
Well, that's what depends how heavy it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that later.
And
But
the
he did, and I hope they'll park down there once in a while.
Yep, no, he told me a few things that
Good.
need to be confidential.
Yep, yep, that's good.
Can you get my name on the email concerning the deputy schedule?
Sure, I
So-
send it to you every time.
No, I have nothing for this week or
Well,
next week.
it just came today,
Okay,
but it comes for 2 weeks.
so you have it, but I
Yeah, oh, I
don't.
have it. Well, I thought I sent you the new, well, it came when I left today, so.
Okay, that's fine. If you could just forward it or have the sheriff put me on the email list.
Sure, you've gotten the other ones I sent you.
Just the last 2 weeks.
Right, well, that's when I started.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine, just
Yeah, it
so that
just
I,
came today for the
so that
next
I'm
week.
not wandering around,
Yep, we don't want anybody to know, what nights they're here.
no, I definitely will not communicate that.
That's good. Okay, is that it for that? Okay, as I said, Kylie and I went to a meeting, Bernie Sanders was there, telling us this money was coming, I've already talked about that. What I want the board to do though, when we find out if it's a decent amount, I want you to start thinking about some different projects, and Andy might be talking about one later. The truck financing option. Look in your, it says State Bank. No, got one? Yeah, you got it. No? That's good.
I don't think I got one.
I don't have one.
You don't have one? Oh, shoot, I gotta get two. Well, when we voted on the new truck, we didn't vote on the payment plan. And this one, that Kylie, there's two. The one she seemed to like, the reason we would have to vote is that it's $11,000 over. It's not on the price, it's how we pay it. She budgeted $120,000. 60 is to pay off the current truck payment, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that
sounds
about,
right.
about 60? And then the other one needed 60 plus 11, so that's 71 to compensate, because she put the 71,000 down this year on the new one. And I guess at closing, the truck is 71,741. So I guess 71,000 is the payment that it would be. And we'd have one payment already done this year, so it would only be two more payments. And that's with, and then the third one, just a minute, just let me think here a minute. The down payment would have to be 20,000. Look at that one and that one and see if you know what it's about. Anyway, she asked us if we wanted the first option to approve, if we thought we could find $11,000 somewhere this year, so to make it 71. I guess it financially, it would be better for us to do it that way, or we'd have more paid this year. And I don't know if you think we can find $11,000 somewhere.
It's gonna be a year of finding money.
It is gonna be, we get a lot of money. We do, there's no problem, but.
Well, yeah, exactly, if
But we
we have
don't-
no idea what those COVID
It would
payments
be a 3-year term rather than a 5-year.
Here, that's what it was, yeah,
For
yeah,
the extra 11, cuts it off 2 years?
yeah. Right?
Well, the
Not-
end payments are bigger too. But
Right,
Okay.
but next year we'll budget.
the
for
interest
payment.
rate is a tad cheaper, it's not a whole lot of difference. But
She seemed to talk more about that first one, so I don't know if that's what you want to do or not, but we have to pick one or the other,
Well, she just thought we could get it paid off quicker.
quicker.
And if then we needed a loader or something in the future, we'd be in a better position to buy another
Right.
piece of equipment.
So is that what you would suggest?
That's what I would suggest, because our loader is getting tired, it's just a never-ending cycle trying to keep
Keep up.
machines updated.
Okay. Okay,
I think our loader is a 92, so.
well, I'll go along with, you know more about it than I do. What, does somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to go that way.
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor?
Well, what
Any more
would that,
discussion?
what would that motion be? To pay 71,000 this first year?
To increase it.
To increase it from 60 to 71,000
Yes.
for the first payment, the first year's
And
payment.
the subsequent years would be the same?
She didn't tell me that. The total is 209,475.
That's about right.
First, there's no interest rate on here, the rate factor.
Yeah, it's 2.7 or something.
Oh,
That's fine.
2.7, yeah, you're right. So, the trade-in, it said 0, so we're not trading anything in.
All right.
Okay. So if that makes sense,
And that includes the warranty payment? Yes,
Pretty simple.
okay.
That's included in it.
All right, very good.
yep, okay. Any more discussion? All's in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion has passed, yes on the truck. Okay, highway.
Not a whole lot to discuss. I'm still waiting for prices from vendors on the paving. I've gotten hold of 3 different vendors, rode the roads with them and clocked the mileage and looked at the roads, just waiting for them to get back to me. Pike called me today with a couple questions. He's on it. He's trying to get it figured out and get it to me. Waiting patiently. Guess we got the roads pretty well dried up now, so we're starting to do a little more grading than we were. Trying to get things graded up now if weather holds and we don't get too much rain. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot, I guess.
Good. Any questions? All right, water and sewer?
Water and sewer, I don't have a lot either. Daryl was working with a homeowner on Providence Street. They
Saw
had,
them up there today.
they're, had a sewer line collapse, so they're trying to help them out and save them some money, because I guess they went through a private business and it was astronomical amount of money that was gonna cost them. And he had requested some money for some filters, or valves for some filters up on the reservoir that they're replacing now, so that's all I have.
I got them a free refrigerator the other day.
Good.
I was playing cards and somebody had one to give away and I knew they wanted one, so. They
Been
picked
after
it-
one.
Yeah, they picked it up. I said, I think it makes some noise. They said they didn't care as long as it worked. I thought I heard somebody, is the front door unlocked? Because Tim's gonna try to,
Yeah, it should be.
it was unlocked when
Yeah, it was unlocked when
when
he
you
came
came
in.
in, right?
Came in,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Buildings. What's going on with the roof?
The roof has been patched and it'll be replaced towards the end of the summer.
End of the summer?
He has to get, he patched it for nothing, he had that all,
Okay.
he put that all in with what we're gonna be paying him to replace it.
But it is patched, so if
It's
it rains,
patched,
it's not gonna-
no more damage to be occurring, at this point, and he's gonna be replacing it as soon as he can, but he's got other jobs he's gonna finish up first.
Okay, but he's gonna get it done.
Yes,
Okay.
and as far as the doors, the seals,
What about the back door of the post office?
yes, first I'm gonna start in the front of the door.
Yep.
The seal there, apparently, the one that had gotten picked up earlier that I was talking about was apparently the wrong one.
Oh,
So I have somebody picking up the correct one and I'm gonna be replacing it. Bobby Peters. He's also gonna go over to the side door and replace the bottom seal on that because that's gone.
okay.
Then the out back door, he's actually can weld. Yeah, you know, he's a welder, certified welder.
Yeah.
He's going to actually, and he's got a metal brake, so he's actually gonna bend and rebuild the doors that are on there.
So we don't have to pay 40,000 for
So,
the-
and then he's gonna reseal them.
Okay, good.
So,
What about the floor?
and the floor, he's gonna start on the doors, the sealing of all the doors,
Yeah.
this coming week.
Oh, good, good.
He's got all the seals on order. He'll be starting out, hopefully, he said Sunday, if not Monday.
Can he get in
And-
there on Sunday?
Huh?
Can he get in?
Yeah, he just gets hold of Timmy, him and Timmy.
Oh.
Yeah, Timmy told him
Oh,
to call
okay.
anytime, they'll
Yeah.
set it up. And then he ordered the metal for the door, for the floor. It's a large piece of metal, sheet metal, a thicker, so it'll work the same way as the other ones that have been that I thought had been, the other two that have been replaced and fixed. He's doing the same thing for this, but as a larger scale.
Good.
So that's all being done. I looked at some damage down in the basement caused by the water that came through the door on the back side.
But it was the door's fault, right? Wasn't
That was
it?
caused by the doors, yes. Once we have a dehumidifier down there right now, so it's, as soon as it's all dried up and stuff and everything's fixed, then we'll go in and fix that.
Okay.
I also have, the sheetrock was being delivered for here, this building.
I saw him today.
Yes. So that is gonna get started. I'll be talking to her again in a little while. And what else was there? The metal, next week. I think that's it.
Great. God, we're going too fast here.
Oh, no, we aren't.
No, I know, we got a lot, we're gonna talk about the bid for the school in the executive session, that's gonna take us a while.
Yeah.
Ambulance. Any
Yes.
two? Anybody?
Do anything? We'll get discussion later on and
Yeah, I think of personnel we probably should talk about a little bit,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
an executive. And besides that, we have the other thing we wanted to talk about.
That be executive or right now?
which the ambulance,
Yes.
would be a contract, I'd talk about it now. I mean,
Okay.
we
Yeah.
shouldn't-
So-
There's nothing secret about it.
All right,
No.
so we have two ambulances, one's a 2010, one's a 2015. They both have pretty similar mileage, they're about 105,000, both of them. Unit 2, which is the one that no one likes to drive because it doesn't handle very well, we've been putting a lot of money into, and
Yep.
we need to put some more money into it to get it up and running correctly.
Quite a bit of
I'm
money.
told about $3,500 in parts, and then labor on top of that. So, you know.
Is that the Demers or
The Braun. The Demers is the better truck I would do.
wow.
Yes, yes. So I've reached out to Robert Gleason, you know, hey, you know, we need to do something at some point. He came up with, and it's in the packets here,
It is? Oh, yeah, northeast.
Yes.
Yep,
it's called a Crest Line.
here it is.
It's on a Ford 350 chassis, 4x4. It's the same sort of setup as the Yamars in back, so it's very similar, the cabinetry inside. So it's similar, so when you have your certain airways in one spot, it mirrors the other truck,
Yep.
which makes it easy for EMTs. So with trade-in, if we were to trade in the Braun, they give us 5,000. It comes with the lettering of Richford Ambulance Service, the graphics, I should say. It comes with a performance load stretcher, which is a newer type of stretcher. Stainless steel wheel simulators, hubcaps basically, and the stock unit. And with everything in total and deduction of the Braun, it comes to $158,466. And that was just, you know,
Think
running
about
through
it,
the
the
motion.
truck's I mean, everything costs that much. and
Yeah.
You can lease it to buy, right?
Yes. We
Yeah,
can
there
lease it
was,
to buy.
he sent out some paperwork, if we wanted to lease it to buy, we'd have to fill out and go
Yeah.
through separate companies, but this is just something that we wanna think about. My point is, if the truck's down, we can't make unit 2 calls, which we can't, we have to call in other services.
We're leaving money on the table for somebody else to
And
pick
we've
up.
been doing, you might wanna mention, we've been doing a lot of
We have,
second
we
calls.
have been doing unit 2 calls. We had 3 unit 2 calls this week, 2 were billable, 1 was a false alarm. But we have been doing them right along.
And we weren't doing returns before, and now we're bringing in money doing returns,
Right,
right?
we've,
For Enosburg too.
go ahead, Curtis, you have a question?
Just in regard to the conditions of the truck, is it just the chassis that is needing the repair, or what's the condition of the box on the ground?
Well, I think it's starting, of course it's aluminum, but you see a little flaking here and there. I got underneath the truck last night to look at it, and the air tanks that hold the air for the air suspension, they're right, they need to be replaced if we were to go, you know, do any more with it.
Is there, I'm probably dating myself in all this, is there anybody that does remounts of boxes anymore?
There's out there, but from what I've been told, this is a similar price to what we would do if we did a remount.
Yep.
The next thing is, the one that we're looking to trade in is a totally separate, it's a different type of style inside. So if, you know, you get used to running on one truck, you get on the next truck, you're looking for things, you don't,
Yeah.
obviously know where everything is unless you run the truck all the time.
And the new one's a 4-wheel drive.
The
And
new
this-
one is a 4-wheel drive,
The other
which
one's
would
a
be
2-wheel
better
drive.
than a 4-wheel drive, especially in this part of.
Yeah.
the area, yeah, our
I just
area.
didn't know if, this was years and years ago, Charbonneau's had done remounts.
Yep,
So if you could find a deal on an appropriate chassis,
right,
so that the suspension and all that too, that's,
yes.
I think though they're lowballing on $5,000 as a trade-in value on it.
I remember Andy Derby, prior talking to it, he had mentioned something at the first of the year about it, and the company he'd talked about was like $7,000, so, you know, it's,
Similar, huh?
yeah.
And now it's broken.
It's, right now, it is broken, it's out of service, so.
And how much did we pay for
Totally out of
those
service.
those
It's out of
stretchers?
service, we can't transport it.
You know
right
the
now.
stretcher that lifts into the,
Oh, was that 15?
how much was that? We got it with a
15,000?
grant.
Was that $15,000?
Yeah, it was quite a bit, and
got
this one
one of
comes
those
with a new
stretchers.
one.
This one comes with a new one, they've got it listed as 4,100, he told me 6,000 original, but I don't know
Oh,
if it's
maybe.
because it's going through the company.
Right, it could be, but still, if we had to buy another stretcher for this one here, because of the way it's lifting up right
So it comes
now,
with it.
Correct.
you're looking at a lot of money.
Any budgeted funds for this?
No,
None at
No,
all.
that's the thing, there's no budgeted funds. I
did you
believe-
come back to find out if we had done a lot of extra pay-ins? Did you come back after you left?
I
today?
did come back and we haven't received a lot of those yet. We're
They're still out.
We're
Okay.
still out there. I talked to Kylie briefly and payroll is up right now, but we've been doing unit tow calls, which
Yeah.
have brought it up.
Right.
I believe we budgeted for a director and we don't have a director. We're running it within our own crew right
Yep.
now. And
That's
this
working
is,
okay.
this is on their own, it seems to be working very
Yeah.
well right now. Schedules are being done, billings being submitted. We haven't had no returns that I'm aware of since Joey started doing the billing. So that seems to be working out. We're just waiting for the insurances to catch up and
Yeah.
get the money coming in.
So, what's your proposal for this?
I would like to, my thought is go towards a lease where we pay
Every year, like we
every,
do the
yeah,
truck?
every year. Unfortunately, it's not like it was budgeted, but I'd like to work on trying to find funds.
I think we need to.
I
How
know
much are you trying to find to make the first year's payment?
what they estimate, 20 some odd thousand, I'm guessing.
That's all? Oh, this would go 5
Well,
years?
5 or 7, yeah, I forgot, I had to do the math again in my head, but, I know,
Of course,
Joe-
we got a
Joe-
grant.
I know we're budgeted for 15,000 for supplies right now, and since we've joined that
That group, yeah.
AAA, our cost of supplies have gone down drastically. We're estimating, high estimate, to only go half our budget for supplies this year, which is about $7,000. We don't have a director, we're not paying a director, so I would think there would be some money on that aspect.
We must have budgeted for a director.
I would have thought it was done.
We did I think part-time because we put the billing out to somebody else. I think we
Right.
budgeted just enough for like a part-time
So
director
how
to
much would
do.
that have been, 20?
I'm thinking so.
So,
Why don't you bring back some facts and figures on what it would cost us every year, the next meeting?
I think we'd have to apply through those, companies that,
Right, to send
Robert.
us the application
yes,
and see how they would do it. We could do that, I can do that tomorrow,
okay.
Kylie.
Don't you think we ought to reach out and get prices from some other
Exactly.
Besides,
Yeah. ambulance people
I
here.
think that's a good idea.
Yep.
Yeah, I think single source is
well, there's not
good.
many people.
Well, there's
One thing
people
about
that
I
have
ambulance
them,
think
but-
lives here,
if I
or
remember
did.
correctly, didn't Andy Derby say the same thing?
Yeah.
He said there wasn't a lot of choices
There's
out
not a
there.
lot of
You talk to
choices.
one or two people and that's about it. That's all
We've
that's out
gotten
there.
out most of our ambulances from him, haven't we?
Yeah.
Because he lives, well, he's
Yep.
Eansburg guy.
So I'm thinking, I mean, we could try to get another one,
I
but
think our procurement policy says we should reach
Yeah,
out
well,
to
we will-
like 3
yeah.
different
exactly,
vendors and-
yeah.
We should,
Yep.
if we can find 3, yeah.
Yeah,
So why don't you come back with that information, maybe,
Okay.
but from 3, and see what it would actually cost us every year?
okay.
And we'll cross our fingers that we got a big grant coming in.
Oh, yeah.
See if we can do that. Do you
Does
want to?
anyone know of anyone else besides Robert that deals in this?
Robert Gleason.
No?
Where did we purchase the other ones from?
Diverses around
Robert
anymore.
Gleason,
Diverses around.
otherwise known as Pork Chop.
The old coach is gone.
Yeah, they're not.
McCoy Miller.
Who does St. Albans purchase ambulances from?
We don't, it's Ampere that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've been going for on the last couple of
Oh, I
times.
thought I'd ask, you know,
Because it used to be wheeled coach. and we
as long as
got
the mayor's in the house, you know.
But again, wheeled coach, I don't think exists in Point Order.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, I mean, they don't sell them through dealerships, do they, like Champlain Chevrolet or,
Yeah, it's usually sales reps.
yeah.
And what about, is there such a thing as a good condition used vehicle?
Such a thing, huh?
There is, I suppose, but it's finding them.
You have to grab them too, don't you? And
Yeah, it's,
we wouldn't have
I
time
was,
to
I was
go.
actually going through the used site before I even reached out to Robert, and there was a few out there, but it was very slim picking, a lot of sold, and
They
it's
sell
like they're
overnight.
grabbed
Oh,
up.
I'm sure they go
I
quick.
say this with a tremendous grain of salt, that if you look on eBay, a lot of agencies sell their used ambulances and fire trucks there.
Well, we get notices sometime, but I haven't had a notice for an ambulance for years, yeah.
Hit or miss, and whether you're buying somebody else's problem or not.
Yeah.
The same as you trade in the Braun, they're gonna rehab it a little bit. and-
Yeah, sell it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, bring us back more information. Is everybody agreeable to that, or,
Absolutely.
okay? We'll think about it. Welcome, Tim. How are you?
I'm good with that.
Good.
I'm good here, you wanna come up? Am I good here?
You're good there, if we can hear you, yeah, or you can come up if you can stay enough apart. Do you know everybody on the board? Jerry Paquette, Tim Green,
Yeah, he knows me.
Scott, Andy Pond.
Andy, how are you?
Good, how are you? Can't tell it with the masks on
I know it.
anyway, you know, so.
Thanks for making time for me.
Yes, yes.
I'm Tim Smith, the Director of Franklin County Industrial Development.
Can you hand me one of those?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna leave those first.
Yeah, we'll hand them out.
Clerks.
We'll hand them out. Just let
This
people look
this
at
came,
them.
I'm the delivery person for Northwest Region.
Ah, yes.
So that's one of their maps that
They didn't print these for a few years, right?
right.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
I have plenty of them if you need more.
Yep, no, we'll put them out for people.
So I try to get around to the select boards every year. Last year was the exception, obviously.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything there, but, so I try to come in and update with, local discussions as well as countywide discussions. You know, probably the local ones, to begin with would be, Richford Wood Products. We've, as you know, has closed their doors, but we had, had a good call probably 3 weeks ago, maybe. So it was, basically, there's an interested party out of southern New York who's interested in buying it. We pulled together a conference Zoom call of as many of the partners, state partners that I could think of that, and those interested in the wood products industry. And I thought it went very well. They are pursuing financing and continue to move it forward. There's nothing concrete as of yet. I spoke with one of the potential owners last week, and he said that they're waiting on some financing information. For those who don't know, it's a father and son team who are, the son has been in the wood shavings business since he was in high school. I think he's in his 30s now, so he has a business. He said that if he, at full production at this plant, if he was to take all of that, he still would not be able to supply all of his outlets. So they're very interested in that, and they're interested in getting the wood pellet line back up and running, which has, let me back up. It never was running. It wasn't back up and running. It was never running. But the equipment's there, and they'd like to move that forward and get it running. So that was, it's encouraging that it's been able to turn around when there's someone interested that quickly.
So you're thinking it's a pretty good shot at getting it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing their due diligence, and
Yeah.
they were gonna keep Bill O'Brien on as well.
Oh, good. Yeah.
To have that consistency going through, so we're optimistic. We continue to have conversations. I know that a couple of the banks they've been talking to, they haven't submitted a firm application yet, but the discussions are ongoing.
Good.
So that would be huge. The other conversation that's going on locally is just, and it's not local, it's statewide, no help.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Yep.
K-Tech is looking for desperately.
K-Tech's looking, Franklin Foods is looking, Barry Calabro's looking. We have, in where our office is in St. Albans, we rent space to a company called Cortec. And Cortec is like a West Staff, they're a temporary office, or a temporary solution. Currently, they have, I don't know how many accounts they have, but they have 180 vacant jobs that we can find people for.
What are we gonna do about that?
It's frustrating, I'm not, I think there's some opportunities. You know, if you think back, and I don't know how many know Kathy LaVoy, I know
Yeah, I
you
do.
Kathy was in the high schools,
Yes, she
Richford,
was.
Enosburg, Fairfax,
Yes, she
PSA, and MVU on a regular basis.
Yep.
And I think that's the route we have
I
to
was gonna say,
go.
that program's done, isn't it?
It's done, and financing
they need
was.
to do that again.
Funding was ended. Kathy placed over an 8-year period, 500 high school students
Yep.
in jobs.
She was good.
And I'm not talking just working at
No,
a movie
real jobs.
theater.
Good
Yeah, right.
jobs.
No, they were
Careers.
real
Careers.
jobs.
Real jobs.
Yeah,
It's interesting, she's been called by some of those people who she placed, who have called and asked her to marry them because now, you know, that was 7 years ago,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Sure.
and they need a job.
Yeah, and they need a job, but now they're starting a family, they're living in the
Yeah.
area, I mean, that's what we want ultimately.
Exactly.
But
I was gonna say, what about the seeking work requirement for unemployment? Which they need to put in because people are just sitting home, myself
Well,
included,
and
collecting
why
unemployment.
wouldn't you get
Unemployment's
that?
too good right now.
It's too good.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but if they
Is that a
put,
national or is that a state?
that's a state,
Well, then we need
but
to
they're
talk about
talking about reinstituting the proof of work application or whatever they call
yeah, we get
it.
3 contacts.
Yeah, you have to go out every week and look,
Right.
they'll stop paying you benefits if you're not looking for work.
Yeah.
And that's gonna bring a lot of people to
And
work,
that's
I
a
think.
big push, Tim, from, a lot of businesses are pushing to put that back into place.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not sure why, I know why they took it out, I mean, there's obviously had the COVID concerns already.
Right, for a while, it was
But,
fine.
you know, the thing that scares me is, the unemployment rate in Vermont's 2.9.
Yeah.
And I know it's not always an exact number because you have
Right.
a lot of people who aren't on unemployment anymore, but, to Tim's point, that is one of the biggest pushes for business is go back to the, you know, the job search, if you will.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Right.
less unemployment. I mean, I know people need money, but they can work. Yeah, that-
My fear about the whole thing, and I've been saying this for about a year now, is if we can't fill these jobs,
they're gonna move.
these companies, and we've seen it, Lionel Dabrowski has mentioned it.
Yes, he's
You know,
good at
he said,
that.
we'll pull our lines and go where there are people,
Right.
whether it's Mississippi or Kalamazoo. Franklin Foods can go to Costa Mesa or wherever.
Yeah,
it
they
is
all
in
have other
Arizona.
subsidiaries that
Yeah,
they
right.
can go to.
Jerry Calabro's, I don't know if I should have brought the letter. Jerry Calabro drafted a letter for our legislature that said, we're gonna lose 30 to 40 employees if we have these lines pulled to go to other
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah,
And they've worked hard to get up to, I think, up to 350,
No.
350.
and they pay well there.
They pay very,
And they have 401Ks and they have insurance and it's a
Well-
good job, but once you want it.
most good manufacturing now is up to $18 as the
Yeah.
starting pay. That's for walking through the door,
Right,
and as you said, benefits, educational reimbursement, you know.
Right. but in the old days, people would have jumped to have those
Yeah.
jobs, but now,
So that's probably the biggest issue in the county right now.
yeah,
You know, I think,
lack of employment.
finding people that want to, and
Well, and can pass a drug test,
pass a drug test.
yeah.
So the company that we deal with, the company that we have on our floor, they have to do a drug test for one of their clients. It's a 40%, and most of it's marijuana, but it's a 40% fail rate.
Yeah,
If that's
Legal.
legal in the state of Vermont, why do they still test for it?
But national corporations, so they're following federal
okay.
guidelines.
All right.
You might have to operate equipment that you still have to not be high to operate.
But they're following federal guidelines across the.
alcohol system.
Right, it's just like alcohol, yeah.
Yeah, it's still, yeah.
Well, it's,
You can beat a drunk charge quicker than you can beat
Yeah, 'cause
a
it stays in
pot
the
charge.
system
That's what I'm
longer.
saying, but, you know, okay.
But that's
they're
part
going
of
by
the,
national.
that's part of the issue. is
Yeah, sure,
finding
it's,
someone-
since it's still federal.
And the other piece of it is they know they're gonna get tested.
know.
And they go through the whole process.
Oh, yeah.
They charge it.
Yeah,
It costs money, and
Yeah.
they go
Of
through
course
the
it
process,
does.
and then
Yeah.
they come back and.
well, they can say to their family, yeah, I looked for a job, I applied.
But
Darn
it's
it.
gonna be, you know, the whole region has worked hard to get to a strong economy. We had a presentation, the northwest economy, which is Chittenden County, Franklin, and Grand Isle, we account for 46% of the state's
Of the state's what?
economy.
Ah,
And that's a variety of,
Well, 'cause you got
and we have
Chittenden in there,
we have the growth, we have a lot of that, but it's interesting to, but, so that's what we're facing is,
Right.
we get,
well, us retired people have to go back to work. Fill the void.
if someone wants to work, there's no reason.
There's no reason.
Unless it's drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
that's right.
And
Sure.
There's no reason, you could,
I know,
a kid coming out of high school this June or July,
yeah,
you know, that's, they can make $800 a week
I
with
know.
strong benefits.
They don't even have
They
to
can
go to
write their own
college.
ticket, yeah,
Yeah, they
there's
can.
absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
we contacted the high school too about K-Tech and when they reached out, and I sent a letter up there. I think they got one kid that's interested, but one is better than none, you know.
It was-
So,
Any more decent projects coming online in the 3-county area that you can discuss?
Cold feet is sort of having an impact on that.
Okay,
With COVID still.
Yeah.
I have a meeting tomorrow with a company who we were moving forward with. But I think what I'm gonna hear tomorrow is they're gonna take a little bit of a break and see where they end up. It's an existing company
yeah,
that's moving from out of Chittenden County into Franklin County.
okay.
Not a large employer, but that's what we're still seeing, to your question. We've had, in the last year, we've had, I would say,
Bless you.
8 to 10 inquiries for space.
Yeah,
So,
that brings us to a nice,
yeah, I know, I know I'm not gonna get out of
no,
here.
you're not, no, you're not.
When I was on the topics I knew you wanted to talk
Yes,
about.
I do.
So we've had inquiries for 5,000 2 or 3 times, 12,000 twice,
Really?
20,000, 50,000.
Wow.
I mean, 50's big.
Yeah, 50's big, and then you've had you got the sort of situation of the INS building.
Yeah, sure.
That's probably the biggest one that's outstanding, so we have, today was the deadline for letters of intent.
Oh, okay.
From the INS, and this is my take on it. They wanted at least 2 proposals, and if they didn't get 2, if they only got 1, I think they would take that request to Chittenden County.
Oh, okay.
But they wanted 2 out of Franklin. It sounds like they're gonna get 3 that they can choose from, and then that will decide, hopefully they'll decide that they'll take it. But much smaller facility, 52,000 square feet versus, I think they're in 120,000 now.
Sure.
The work style, COVID has changed
I don't know,
has
everybody's-
changed how people are working.
Well, people don't need office space anymore.
Office space. So that's probably the bigger one that's, and then you, yeah, so then there's no vacant space. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
bottom line. There's no, I can't, you know, someone came to me tomorrow and said, show me what you have for 5,000 square feet. We don't have any. There's a new building being built up in Franklin Park West in St. Albans. It's North Star Masonry, and they're looking, they've got 10,000 square feet they're building. They'll take 5, and they have 5 to rent, but it's not built yet.
What's that, the old Union Carbide?
Union Carbide is one of those that is being pitched for the
Oh, for
INS.
the communal, yeah.
Right now, Peerless is in there, clothing.
Yeah, that's right, I knew that.
But Peerless is, they
It's in
had,
2 places, Peerless,
right,
right?
they had 2,
Yeah.
they had 160,000 square feet in Energizer. They don't need it all,
Right.
at least now, so they're willing to give up
Yeah,
40 or 50,000.
it's a lot of
Square feet.
space, huh?
So,
So, yeah, go ahead.
so those are
Yeah,
the
sure.
things that are, if we had space, and, and obviously our biggest potential, region is Canada.
Mm.
I got an email the other day, a guy wants to come down and look at space,
Oh,
you know, which part of it would be in the Energizer building.
Uh-huh.
But he and his partners can't get over the border.
right.
So I sent,
Doesn't look good for a while.
no, it doesn't. I sent Senator Leahy's office a note and asked if, is there any way we can get him over to look at it? And they said, well, we'll inquire, but don't hold your
It's the
breath.
Canadians.
Well, you'd think
that-
it's essential travel,
Well,
you know.
not until they go. That brings me to, we're gonna look later at the bid process, which you've seen from supervisory union. To me, it just looks like, I don't know why we're gonna bid, but anyway, that would leave, let's just say they're gonna go somewhere else, because one of their requirements is to be more centrally located. That leaves us quite a space, I mean, not like you're talking, but in the post office. I don't know if you've ever been up there.
I haven't been to the post office.
No, it's the whole, what they have right now is the entire upper floor, top floor. An office where the border patrol was on the ground floor, because we gave it to them to be handicapped accessible, partially. And then a whole basement that they can use for storage. Plus there's a shower down there. It's a nice,
Yeah.
not finished, but you know what I mean, a nice,
Antique.
from that era, a very nice setup.
Who owns the building?
We do, town.
The town took.
A while back, I wasn't around then, but I guess the post office was gonna sell it and move. So the town bought it, I think fairly cheap. I heard 20,000, I don't know. Do you know, John?
No, I don't.
And that was basically to keep the post office there. And then, of course, the supervisory went in and pretty cheap rent for, you know, we did all the utilities and everything. I'm just wondering if there's any smaller businesses. I know you're rehabbing that building in Enosburg. This doesn't even really need rehab, would anybody say?
No, it needs
It's
a little
offices
tiny
on
bit
it.
repair and that's it.
Yeah,
And water, and that's it.
we're putting a new roof on it this summer.
This summer, yes.
I heard the roof was leaking. a little.
Yeah, well, see, they didn't come to us and say that. They probably told you, but yeah, we figured it out. If we had known earlier, probably could have replaced it early. But anyway, we're replacing it. It doesn't have an elevator, but you know, if there's money coming down, I guess they're offering to help rehab, or that's gonna cost something to rehab that pearly block. I just wondered if there's any way you could be looking for somebody who needed, I know it's at least 36,000 square feet.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Upstairs, that's just
Yeah.
upstairs, yeah, and then there's another, you know, we're looking at some smaller things.
3,600,
3,600, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I say 1,000, I meant.
Yeah, 3,600, yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you could have that. I just wondered if you could keep us in mind for, and who knows, you know, an elevator could go in there. I think down there, you'd have to put an elevator in to go to the 3rd floor probably, you know, so.
No doubt.
No doubt.
I mean, we're still
That's their
not,
problem here, yeah.
we're still not sure what direction we're headed on that.
Right, but, yeah, the roof will not leak after August, so.
One discussion that's come up a lot is because you're in so far, the far eastern part of the county.
Always have been.
And, yeah, it hasn't changed at all, right?
Yeah,
Is to have that, state agency, sort of the outlying, to have an office set up here
right,
for not,
for this, the end of the
for
state.
this side of the state.
Yeah. Who could we talk to?
We can pursue that for sure.
Could you?
I'm not sure which ones they would think work, you know, DCF, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we
But you-
certainly can use that up
Labor.
here, parole and probation.
Well, you do have some presence already. It's like 1 day a week,
Right.
2 days a
they
month,
could
whatever it
actually
is,
open up.
over in that old Notch building. And don't, or doesn't the state consider Newport the hub? I know it's the other side of the mountains, but, you know, they handle most of the state affairs for Northeast Kingdom and over to here, as far as I know.
They come this far over?
Yeah, they do, for different things, but, you know, they get a ton of state money in Newport,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so, did I say St. Albans or Newport?
Said Newport.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it would be really terrific if we could chase somebody and get a big
Elevator.
presence here, you know.
Can you even get a driver's license in St. Albans anymore, picture, or do you have to go to Newport? Seems like.
You can, they have that little office right at 104 and Fairfield Street, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause I went there and I had to end up going to Newport a couple of years ago.
I had to go to, I think it was South Burlington.
Yeah, I don't think, you know, that it would be great up there. There's all kinds of things.
Well, it's so much closed up during COVID. Who knows what the
Yeah.
schedules are now.
But that is several offices. I'd love to have you look at it sometime if you're up and about, just to go up and take a tour of it. Tell me from your experience, just pretend. No, if you had 3,600 square feet and you charged $25,000 a year and you included heat, water, everything, toilet paper, custodial, insurance, electricity, is that a lot of rent?
No,
It probably is in Richford.
no, you'd be less, you'd be $8 a square foot.
$8 a square
I'm
foot.
just doing
Yeah.
quick math, I don't,
I
What's
just
the
wondered
average?
how that compared to the rest of the county.
well,
I know we're not as central, but I'm just asking.
yeah,
'Cause the post office gets a good deal too.
let me, so in our building, we have a landlord who has 6 offices and he charges $450 a month.
$450, okay.
So, you know, that's 6,000 per, that's one office.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
and that's a
space-
month.
Well, no, I think total it'd be about 6,000 for the year.
Oh, for
For
the
each
year.
office.
For
For
each
each
office, though.
office.
Yeah, okay, all right.
And the office is probably, take from the window to go past your right arm,
6 of those.
6 of those.
20 by 20, maybe.
Yeah, 20,
That would take a
20 by 20
corner
might
of
even be
this
a lot.
post office.
It might even be 15 by 15 and
Yeah,
he's charging, and that's St. Albans.
right, but,
But, you know, warehouse, here's the tough, when I talk about no space, the tough part is we're going through a transition. So all the old space, like, let's say K-Tech were to, you know, come vacant, that'd be old space, that'd be like $450, $5 a square foot. Now, if you wanna build,
oh, yeah.
you can't get your money back unless you charge $10, $12 a square foot.
They're gonna have to
And
use
that's-
the old buildings, right?
Yeah, no, the old
They're
buildings.
gonna have to use them.
Yeah, but you know, a new building for a warehouse, no one wants to pay $12 a square, not in Franklin County.
No.
You know, so
No.
that's the predicament we're in, no one wants to build, because it's gonna be tough. If you have old stock, like if you go through Swanton, Dave Posgate has taken old buildings and refurbished them and made it worthwhile. And he's getting $5, $6 a square foot.
Right.
But build new, he'd have to get 10.
Well, and you couldn't build a building like this
No.
today. I mean, there's marble walls in the bathroom,
Yeah.
marble.
Yeah. Crown molding throughout.
It needs a new roof, but other than that, it is really,
What I like to
Needs
do
a little
then
sheet,
is,
right, it's a little cosmetic and that's it, but it's
Yeah,
beautiful, it's a
cosmetic.
beautiful building
Beautiful.
like this building.
what I'd like to do is, and we can coordinate this for a couple weeks, I'd like to take a ride up here with Dominic Cloud
yeah,
from the city. So Dominic he's been the visionary for St. Albans City.
I know,
mean,
Main Street too is
yeah,
beautiful,
I
by the
mean,
way, I just wanna let you know.
he has a vision,
Yeah,
he knows how to work a deal. It'd be worthwhile for him to come up and just walk through it and get his take on it. He
I'd
just
love
did
it.
that.
Yeah,
He just did
definitely
it in
would love it.
Swanton. And I don't mean to say he's the end all by any
no,
means,
but it
gives
wouldn't
you a
hurt.
different-
It wouldn't hurt.
It gives you a different look. He's more familiar with the downtown building than I am.
Yeah.
But And he's got connections with developers and all that I think would be worthwhile. But the more people you can share, share that building with,
Right.
the better off we're gonna be.
I think that's a beautiful building, and it's only two like it in the country. It's a
Right.
special, because we used to have important people that were able to get back in the turn of the century that got that built.
But I'll track you down this week.
That's
and set
okay,
something
yeah,
up
you
for
can get me in
2
the
weeks.
office or leave a message or whatever. That would be great.
But no, it's, 20, what you're charging is
Well,
minimal.
and if we had even several offices up there, I mean, they're all already divided into offices. There's a big conference room,
There's a huge conference room up
Huge
there,
conference
yeah.
room.
Yeah, I'd like to look into it.
What type of businesses are filling those 6 spaces that you're in now?
We had, mostly the counselor, lawyer.
Oh, like a single unit.
There's a 2-guy software company. They
Yep.
do software for stores who have cigarettes.
Yep,
They
okay.
have, some special stuff. So
Yeah,
they're-
controlling stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
they manage the
Well,
customer
see, that's
service.
the kind of stuff that'd be perfect, because they're
Right.
all in offices already.
Yeah, we need a lawyer in
And you got
town.
the Wi-Fi. and-
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, and then there's another, like I said, ground floor office that the border patrol used to be in. It's got a vault in it, you get a bank in there.
yeah.
And then the basement is certainly the whole building for
Oh my
storage.
God,
How
that basement's
about
huge.
banking? Now that she mentions that, we're a town without a bank.
Yeah, we sure are.
There's not too many. Well, I mean, some of the smaller places, but
John's been trying to find somebody for us.
I think banking's curious. I mean, I go to People's Trust in St. Albans.
Yeah,
And I've been around long enough to know when you went in there on a Friday evening, you stood 8 people back.
Yes,
To get
I
one
remember that.
one of 6 tellers.
yeah.
yeah.
And now you go on a Friday, I'm the only one in there. There might be 2 tellers working.
Maybe, yeah.
It's just a whole transition of banking.
Well, I don't need as much
Well, it's all
space.
electronic.
It's all
now.
Yeah, everything's electronic, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see where it's gonna be in 5 or 10 years,
We'll have no human contact at all.
Yeah, no,
Probably not.
I mean, I was a little hesitant to do the electronic stuff, but it is, once you get it, it's
Yeah.
really convenient.
Right, right,
It is convenient, so,
right.
but, no,
Well, we're
so I
just,
don't know the answer to that, Tim.
Yeah, no, and you're right, I never go to the bank, you know?
Whereas before it was a weekly.
Absolutely.
yeah, you know everybody in there.
Yeah.
It's just that there's so many people here in town that aren't
Well, they don't wanna drive.
electronically motivated, that they want to,
Yeah.
you know,
And I like it when
they
I
like
go
to
in the
feel
bank
their
and
money
say hi
before they
to
put
them.
it in, you know?
Personal contact.
I don't know how much time I'm.
You can go time you want. They don't have
Thank you.
anything to do.
I want to share that tomorrow, Wednesday night, one of the things we're doing sort of try to come out of COVID is, there's a couple things we tried doing is, on our website, we had some videos done for e-bank, or not e-banking, e-commerce. So if there's someone working out of their house, selling scarves, it
Yeah.
just helps them to go online, set up an online, to, because so much of it's going that way. So there's six videos that they can watch, 6 or 7, just to give them the sort of the 30,000 foot level, and then sort of direct them where they can go for more information if that's something they want to do. And then the other one was we're doing a Start Your Own Business workshop. It's 6 nights, starting Wednesday night. And that's on our website as well.
It's on your, what's your
And that's
website is
fcidc.com. So I think we
CIDC,
still
that's easy.
have 3 or 4 spots available. But if we can
I
sort
did
of,
FCDIC, I get it wrong.
if we can just sort of start,
Yeah,
because I think there's a lot of people out there that have said, oh, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
one thing.
yeah, it's a good
Um,
idea.
I don't know what else
Well,
I-
we're having some good luck. Fred's Fuels just located
Oh, they
here.
did?
And they were gonna go elsewhere, but they came here. And
Where
that's,
where'd they set up?
Robert McCollister had a snack bar down on Troy Street,
Yep.
which is that way. And he sold his equipment, so it's gonna go into another place that's gonna be another new business, where Claude's was down here. And they've been refurbishing it. So, I mean, we've had a little bit of spark lately for, one new business and one going back in there, so, It's a hell.
So if you, any of those people, if they want, it starts from business plan and goes right through the other aspects of starting your own business.
Yeah. Not sure,
What's something else I want to mention?
but that's.
Oh. How much are you getting from the stimulus package?
We don't know. How do we find out?
We don't know yet.
I can send you that spreadsheet.
Well, is it a percentage of our budget?
The best way I figured it out is what's your population?
Oh, it's population, what is it, 2,500?
2,500, I thought.
So,
Close, yeah.
Everybody, or
Yeah, so-
checklist, everybody?
It's
yeah.
not voting, it's everybody.
Everybody, about
So
20.
if you're 25, I ballpark $100 a person. So you would get 225,000. right?
225,000.
And that's-
So it's not a percentage of your budget?
250,000.
250, right, yeah.
So it's not a percentage of your budget?
No.
That's, somebody told me. Okay, so,
So like the city's getting 670,000 and we've got just under 700, the ballpark.
Yeah, yeah.
Just under 7,000. So, and then the town is at like 6,000 and they got like 6,200.
okay. So when do you get it? When's it coming down?
That I don't know. I don't know when we asked that question of Congressman Wells, but we didn't get an answer.
Does it get released by the state or by the federal government?
We hope not, but.
That's what I'm saying,
We
yeah.
went to the thing with Sanders the other day, but he didn't say anything except what they had done with the past money.
So there's two pieces to this. So
Oh.
if you're gonna get 250, you're actually gonna get 750.
Why?
So,
Wow,
yeah, so you,
that's nice.
Now, what's this?
don't hold me to that.
No,
number.
no, why would you say that?
So, so every municipality got an allocation, right? So your allocation is that
250.
250
Okay,
ballpark.
we won't hold you to it.
And then what happens is, they also did one for county government, right?
Okay, per county, okay.
And because so many other parts of the country have county government, they
Right.
get their part of money. Because Vermont doesn't have county government, they've taken the $9 million that was supposed to go to county government in Franklin County and all the other Vermont counties.
9 million for all the counties?
9 million for Franklin County, I think.
What? 9 million for Franklin?
Right.
I
Now
like
that gets divided by 17 communities, and once again on a per capita basis.
Okay,
So it works out to be a little bit more, I think what we found was it was a little bit more than your municipal, no, it was
a little bit more than the 250.
a little bit, a little more than twice of your 250.
So
So
that
you
brings
get
it up to
500,000.
750.
That brings up 750.
Oh, okay. Order that ambulance, right?
I'll send you that spreadsheet.
Okay, that'd be great. It's just select board, well, you have my, you have
Yeah,
my,
I got it.
yeah. Well, that's good news.
That's
Yeah,
really
no,
good news.
Well, we're glad you showed up today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not every year.
forgive you.
Every year I won't bring that kind of money.
No, I know, but that's,
But so
That's-
City of St. Albans is getting 2 million.
well,
Very
that can
nice.
make a difference. That kind of money can
Yeah,
actually make
yeah,
a difference. to-
Absolutely.
So you do have some criteria you can help.
What'd you
Yes.
say?
Feel sad for our poor kids.
Grandkids.
Yeah, I know, but we'll be dead.
I don't know where it all, how it's all gonna, where it's
Well, I
coming
know,
from, but
I know.
you don't wanna turn it
The
away.
golden
No.
goose.
But so you have infrastructure is one of the,
Right, we saw that, yeah, and,
you can help businesses that have been hurt by it. So whether the market or
Yeah.
not, I don't know.
can you do new businesses too, or just the
Or the
businesses?
Grey Gables is closed,
Yeah?
so you can send me some money.
So,
And there was kids recreation, it seemed to me.
yeah,
that
there was a big.
Big chunk for kids, yeah, because of the
Yeah,
schooling.
you could do a playground, you could do a ballpark. You could-
Yeah.
Is it a check that you receive and define afterwards, or is it the projects have to be defined before the check
Well, and we
comes?
have to spend before 2024.
Okay.
We can do it. No doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like last
I've
year,
already been spending it in my mind
it's not like last year where you had to spend it
by December or something.
in 3
yeah.
months, it was ridiculous. So you have 2024, regional planning will probably be more valuable when you finally get it
Yeah.
because they are getting a stipend to sort of.
To help.
To coordinate with all the communities, how the proper way to spend it and what you can spend it on and all that.
It's probably fairly easy to get. I remember the COVID money was not hard to get.
Yeah, I think we asked and Congressman Welch said he didn't know when we were gonna get it, but it
Yeah.
should be fairly,
But I mean, with the application, I mean, when we decide the projects, once we know the guidelines, I think it's gonna be easy to obtain it's not gonna be a bunch of red tape, I hope. I know the
Never know.
COVID grant,
the tricky part with this whole thing was, not so much for you folks, but the village of Venusburg and the village of Swanton didn't get anything.
why?
Because they were included in the town of Venusburg and the town of, even though both the village of Venusburg and village of Swanton,
So the village got it, but the town didn't?
No,
no,
the
but
No.
vice versa.
Vice versa, okay.
And it's a village in both communities that has the infrastructure, you know, they both have
Yes.
utilities, they both have power, they got the water.
But they would never merge. See, we were lucky we merged,
But
I guess.
Congressman Welch thought ultimately they will get some from the county money.
Right,
They will have an allocation, but
Wow.
not to the level of what the town of Venusburg.
I'm not liking that.
glad we merged, yeah, it would've been the same thing here.
You'd think the town would put some money towards the village if that's where their infrastructure and everything is, though.
I agree with you.
You'd
You know how those
think, but,
that politics work.
oh, yeah.
And when I lived there were 4 taxes, it was village, town, school, and highway. They all divided.
In Venusburg?
Yeah, I lived there for a long time, yeah.
So that, like I said, don't hold me to that.
No,
but
no,
that's
but
how
I'm
we-
liking that figure.
That's how we've had thing, I figured to $100 a person ballpark,
Yeah,
based on what we know of other communities.
Yep.
And you will get a share of the county money,
great, and that's 9 million for the county.
$9 million for the county.
I thought that was for the whole state.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, our
State's
grandchildren
couple
are gonna
hundred
be
million,
hurt.
isn't it?
oh, that's one thing I want to talk about
What?
quickly, and then I'll let you get on, but
Okay.
you know, there's some crazy stuff going on in the legislature, and that probably doesn't surprise anyone, but, two of
Shocked.
two of the big things right now going on, and you folks know better than I, but if you took a PPP loan, so paycheck protection program,
Yeah.
they want to tax that money now.
Really? The state does?
State
Yeah.
does. So even Leahy has said that was never the intent of the program. It was never, but it's a money grab by our legislature to get more money.
Yep.
And any businesses you know that took a loan, make sure they contact Lisa or Paul Martin, whoever, and let them, and I'm not so worried about our delegation from Franklin County.
Right.
But that's part of one of the issues. The other one is, once again, when people laid off people from COVID, they were told that their unemployment insurance was not going to be impacted. And there's a bill in place where there's potential to raise the amount that businesses pay in, even though there's a surplus in the fund now. Some rough estimates, and I think may not be the case anymore, but they were looking at going from, if you had an employee, you paid $50 a year for unemployment, they were looking at bumping that to $183.
Quite a bump.
4 times.
Yeah. And the other one they're talking about now is, if you are on unemployment, the new unemployment insurance program is, I think it got knocked down, but if for every dependent you had, you were gonna get another $50 per week on top of your unemployment benefits. So if Tim was unemployed, he had 3 kids at home, he would get his unemployment,
150, yeah.
and then he'd get another $150 on top of that.
And I don't mean to put you on the spot, you may not know, but the only reason I qualify is under PUA because I'm a private business, a self-contractor, if you will. So I don't get a lot from the state anyway. But when it's convenient, they group it with regular unemployment. And, but if they put this seeking work requirement in there, what am I gonna do, go buy another bed and breakfast? You know, and what's gonna happen to that particular benefit? And it's really up in the air. No one knows what's happening. And Richford has so many independent contractors, you know, tradespeople that are
More than you
carpenters
might
and
think.
roofers
More than you might
and
think.
plumbers and whatever.
The sole proprietors are gonna.
Yeah,
put a
yeah.
fee down to the deal.
That's exactly what it is, but, so, I don't know how that's gonna fit in, but, yeah.
But there's, you know, it's just, you know, that's something, they've got the flexibility where they could let the unemployment insurance program run for a year. There's enough in it.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no need to act on it now. Go a year, see
See
where
how
you're
you
at.
figure out,
And
yeah.
then make an adjustment.
Right.
You don't have to,
Right.
you don't have to go crazy and
Uh-huh.
sort of impact the recovery. So,
Right.
thanks for my 5 minutes.
No,
Well, thank
happy
you
to
so much
have
for
you.
coming out.
And,
So I'm gonna call you to set something up.
Yep.
And I'll send you the spreadsheet.
Yep.
Send it here.
To the select board app, yeah.
Oh, select-
You-
select-
Yeah.
You have we've been corresponding that
Yeah.
way. You didn't know it, but Connie and I,
Yeah.
or whoever the lady I talked to today. Yeah, that'd be great. And
Absolutely.
have you put in for your measly check we give you every year yet?
I think we got it.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
I think we're good. But I mean, Connie knows what's going on, she's in terms of,
Yeah. Connie.
Richford Wood products. and-
She's still working, right?
Yeah, we just had a she's gonna,
Cut back.
I mean, you know Connie, I mean, she's.
She won't. That's what keeps her
But
going.
she is going back to 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Right,
was-
she's gotta keep her hand in something. You know how she
She,
is. Connie Burns.
it's funny, she, probably not for public.
Yeah, I know, probably not for public.
But she came in and said she just didn't think she was carrying her load,
Oh,
and I told her, I said, geez, I just had a conversation last week with Kathy Boyer about, I couldn't believe how much you do in it,
Right,
you know?
right.
Well, I don't know. said,
yeah, I know, she would never have done it.
But so she's gonna go 2 days, and I think that's best for
Good,
her.
good. You'll still have that
Great.
connection.
I mean, to be going 4 days a week
Oh.
and doing the drive, and
Yeah,
I
right.
know, I know.
Absolutely.
I tell her the day before it starts, I say, you don't have to come in tomorrow. Well, I'll see what the weather is.
Yeah, yeah.
It shows up on the doorstep, you know.
Yeah.
There you
She's
go.
dedicated,
Yeah,
that's
she
for
is, there's no doubt.
She is.
So, thank you all.
Say hi to
Thank
Denise,
you.
please,
I will do that.
okay?
Thank you.
And
How
thanks
things
for
going in
coming
St.
up,
Albans?
What do you say?
That's
I
my-
said, how things going in St. Albans,
Well, just
Mr.
your-
Mayor?
Your beautiful street, I mean, the
I love it.
difference in the street down there is
Oh, I
gorgeous.
know.
We just need to, we got some storefronts, you know.
Yes, yeah.
And we're gonna use that money, we talked about that money to do some facade improvements.
Well, I remember years ago, just when you were a lot younger, when there was a lot of empty storefronts down there, I lived down there. And they decorated them up so it looked like there was something going on, and even though it was not rented out, and I think it really made St. Albans look a lot. That's what I'd
There's a
like
lot
to do
of-
here,
There's a lot
yeah.
of pride in the buildings,
Yeah.
people doing painting, and
Yeah, just to make it look like, hey, we're happening here, you know?
so we'll see, it'll be interesting how the summer turns out.
Yes, it will,
Yeah.
it will.
Hopefully 4th of July, we can get back to kind of normal.
Get rid of our masks.
Thanks for coming up, Tim.
And you guys are doing the vaccine up here, right?
Yep,
Yep.
yep.
I'll just share this if anyone, there's, I don't know other areas, but I know the St. Albans area, there's always a waiting list. So if someone doesn't want to wait 2 weeks and get on, they call in and get on the waiting list. And they'll be called and say, can you be here? I know it's a
Like
longer-
a spur of the moment.
Yeah, I know it's a longer trip, but if
Yeah.
someone's looking, and it's
Well, I went to St.
probably the same
Albans,
here.
but I didn't
Yeah, I
I
did
didn't
too.
mind, I went down there,
I'm
yeah.
too old, I got 2 of them already.
I was,
Yeah, yeah, we're old, we got both.
that's why I was gonna try, I got Pfizer, I was gonna try to get Moderna to make up for that 15%.
Right, right.
Thank you
Take
all.
care, Tim.
Okay,
Have a
thanks
great
for
night.
coming. Thanks for coming. Well, that was interesting, I thought.
That was great.
Very good. Okay, where are we? Did we finish ambulance? For now, right?
Yes.
Anything on track?
Couple quick things. I don't have much of an update on the overall curbside pickup. People should be aware that for Green Up Day, the Northwest Solid Waste District is carrying the expense to turn in 100 tires per town. Will be free, and they'll keep a running total on them.
I'll take care of a few of them.
Yeah, I'll take care
Yeah.
of part of them, huh?
No, I know, I mean,
I graded Hardwood Hill today, up around Hardwood Hill and the Brook Road,
I
and
saw.
I'm not exaggerating,
Yeah.
there's at least 30 tires.
yeah, no, I'm sure of it, yeah.
There's some more up. I
That's
went-
no exaggeration.
I
But-
saw some more somewhere else.
But the
yeah.
good thing is, we recognize, because I'm on that board, that we recognize tires are a big problem, dumping in the ditches and everything else. And 100 of them, the first 100 are free, and they don't all have to come at one time. They'll keep a running
Oh,
total.
they will.
For each town.
Yeah.
And some towns, they show up, day after green up with 100 tires right away.
Well, so what, how do you give them to them? Do the Green Up people know this here?
I sent an email to you to convey to.
When did you send it?
Last week. It came to the town clerk, and I forwarded it to you, and I asked, please make Nancy aware of this. And I also sent it to Scott, because I
That
figured
doesn't
the
ring a bell
town
at all.
crew would be the one that's picking up the waste.
I don't know, do you pick
So-
up the tires?
It's this one here, yeah,
Oh, you got one?
well, that's the email.
I didn't see
Yeah.
that. That doesn't even look familiar at all.
Well,
No?
So it's, but that's pretty good news. I mean, because normally they get $6 a
And then-
tire.
And then there's
So-
$6. I just paid $7 a piece, to get rid of mine when I had my tires changed.
It's the big ones we have trouble with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Tires,
and
tractor tires.
they won't take those, the tractor tires, and anything above
farmers don't
20-inch
want 'em.
wheels,
No,
I think
they
it
got 'em
is.
out.
So,
Put them in a playground, you just climb on.
yeah,
You
exactly.
can't only climb on so many tires. Make our own mountain.
Right. Tire Mountain.
That's what I know. Oh,
Okay, you got something
do you
else?
want, yeah, somebody mentioned earlier, and I just have a note here about mattresses and other
There's a
tires.
bunch of them out right now.
Just accumulating in places. And I know you had a fire issue with people burning them and I think you talked to Barry Dom and I don't know.
Yep.
But if it's something where it's really an accumulation and it's a problem, let me know. I'll get a hold of the district, talk to Barry Dom and he'll come out. He's like the trash police. He doesn't enjoy that title, but, he'll come out and take a look at it and find the people that are doing it. So, any of those kind of trash issues, I know there used to be a lot of issues out on Corliss Road, on the riverside,
Yeah.
that you could see from the
Oh, yeah, that's one
East
house.
Richford Road.
It's one house.
And I don't know if they ever took care of that or not, did
Oh,
they?
it's a mess. You know who it is.
I don't know.
You can see, if you're driving up J Road, you can see,
Yeah, I know who
Yeah,
you mean.
you can see
Yeah,
it
I know.
across the river there,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
anyway, let me know about it, and I'll
you know what I'd
the
love to
appropriate
do?
authorities on it.
I don't know how much it would cost, but like, if we get some money, have one day maybe that we said anybody could put out anything they wanted. Anything, stoves, refrigerator, whatever, and then go around and pick it up, pay for it, just one time, clean up town. I don't know how much
I
it would
think it would
cost.
take more than one day.
Well, it might, and maybe a couple days, but you know,
Saving for years.
otherwise, well, you just offer it one day. They gotta take care of the rest of it, and if they're too lazy to get it out there, and then we could separate the metal. I don't know.
It would certainly benefit the
once.
community,
Just
yeah.
once.
Well, when the solid waste used to have their thing over to the town garage where you could bring hazardous,
Right, they don't do
paint
that. Yeah.
and mattresses and, well,
Exactly.
they quit doing it, cause the last year we did it, we didn't have a very good turnout, so they pulled the plug on it.
People are too lazy to even,
I worked at it like
Yeah.
3 different years in a row and it gradually went downhill. I don't know.
Maybe if
I
they
think
could-
it was a good thing.
maybe if they could put it out in front of their house instead of having, like, I wouldn't be able to move a refrigerator, you know what I mean? I
Yeah. You'd
don't
be
know.
surprised the amount of people that would bring stuff. though.
Oh,
yeah.
there's no doubt.
Yeah. Well, it's just an
I
idea.
got a truckload in my house.
I'm gonna get a dumpster just to,
Just keep setting it aside and collecting it.
yeah.
I go to
Someday,
Montgomery every now and then and get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure, and that's still a potential option for trash here.
Right.
That, in discussion, if you will. But, we'll see where that goes.
is that it for trash?
Yes, ma'am.
You wanna talk about another fire that we had?
Yeah, we had another fire on Brook Street. By the time we got there, it got called out, it was fully engulfed. All we could do was put water to it. I guess there was issues with 911 trying to get through through to.
Oh, they went to Canada instead
Yeah, I
of,
guess it went to Canada from my understanding.
oh, God.
We had fire investigators there next morning just because of having a fire so close together and so close in, you know.
Proximity,
mileage.
yeah, they were right next to each other.
So-
Saturday, or
Yeah,
Friday.
as far as I know, talking with the investigators, it didn't seem to be anything suspicious.
Nothing connected.
Yeah.
Pretty close to your house, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exciting.
We had a lot of excitement up there. I mean, I saw it the next day, I'm like, oh my God. It's burnt to the ground, yeah. You guys have done a great job.
Did I,
Did you lose some hose in that?
The first fire,
First
we
fire.
lost some hose because electrical line dropped and we lost probably 200 feet of
I
hose.
saw the truck going, and I was like, oof.
I had recent order from last year's budget, I ordered some spare hose and we had enough to replace it, so I've got some more on order to replace my replacement. Yeah. We did have trouble, engine one, we could not prime on that first fire. Couldn't pull water. I had E1 actually the same day as the fire come up. They worked on it last Friday. They changed the primer motor and the primer on the engine, so that was up and working for this next fire. Other than that, the last fire actually, Berkshire had a firefighter, they had a malfunction on equipment where they had it was aluminum housing connector. It just blew up on him and he hurt his knee.
Mm.
Yeah, so we actually transported him that night.
I
but
was
it
gonna.
was a Berkshire firefighter?
Berkshire
Yeah,
firefighter.
but we had mutual aid, they came here.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, because I had heard on the television that there was a minor firefighter's injury
Yeah.
in that fight.
He won't brag about this or talk about this, but they had one, I mean, they were there all night, going back and forth, checking, and it was so dry, it would catch all the time. 3 of the firemen had been on an ambulance call, and they got the call to go to the fire, what, you were in St. Albans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they had one hard night and day, and same again this time, I imagine. You were there all night, some people were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't just go out. So, thank you very much for our firefighters.
Absolutely.
Other business while we're here, because we're gonna have to go into executive session. Talk about the lawsuit and to talk about, a
Some ambulance
contract.
stuff,
And talk about employees.
yeah. Employees in the ambulance.
Oh, and employees, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I have a motion to, and I'm trying to think if we would make any decisions that anybody would have to stay.
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. Maybe about the contract, I don't know, because it's due.
May
Um,
5th.
May 5th, we would be not having another meeting till then. But I don't know if we can make a decision tonight.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
Monday,
May 10th. May 10th,
We'll have
I'm
a
sorry.
meeting, we'll have another meeting, so we won't make
Yep.
any
Sorry.
decision.
Before you call the vote.
Excuse me?
Before you call the vote,
Uh-huh.
would it be possible before I leave to get some of the green up day bags? Are they downstairs?
They haven't come in
I
yet,
don't think
is
they
what
came in. I
I'm...
didn't see them
They
downstairs.
were on the porch this afternoon when I came.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they were
they're in
checking
a-
them in the.
Are they
No,
on
no,
in the
that's-
lobby? Or do you think they're in the lobby?
I think they're probably locked in the other office.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can call tomorrow.
Then tomorrow.
They
Well,
will
what-
be on the front porch. They're supposed to be starting,
They were there out
Yeah.
there today.
yeah, I thought
Might have
so.
just pulled them. On your way out, just
Just checking.
see, and you'll see a box would say what they were, so take what you want, yeah.
Pick up as much as you can.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we, members of Richford First Baptist Church, we
Oh,
plan on
nice.
going out in mass kind of to honor Paul Johnston.
Oh, yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's perfect.
Cool.
As we,
Yeah,
just seeing him in church,
That's-
and seeing him on the road.
Oh,
too.
well, he used to pick up all of the
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
yeah, oh, that's
that's
nice.
fantastic.
That's nice.
Yeah, so we'll be out there.
Yeah, well-
If there are any hot spots, so to speak, you think need a little more work than just here and there, and let me know, and
Yeah,
we'll go out and hit those areas. too,
wonderful,
so.
that's great,
We plan on doing it actually Sunday afternoon after service.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I
that's
wonder
great.
if the schools are doing it this year. I don't know.
I think
Maybe
they
not
will,
with
but
the,
I don't know.
It's probably safer for them to go pick up needles and get COVID.
Oh,
The last time I took a group of kids, we found some real,
I can imagine.
weird
Thank you very
stuff
much,
everywhere.
everybody.
Thank you.
thank you, Curtis.
Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I'll make a motion.
Andy did, and Sherry seconded it.
Sure.
Thanks for coming, John.
Bye, John, thank you for the permit.
Okay, all those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Bye.
Okay.